Intel, a brand synonymous with CPUs, is continuing to make waves in the PC processor industry. As many might not know, Intel has also stepped in the GPU market but has been struggling to gain market share. What could Intel strategically do to overcome this? A pleasant day. The Fairies Consulting Group is here to provide internal and external assessment on Intel and ultimately bring strategic recommendations to the table. This undertaking is divided into 3 reports, and in this first comprehensive discussion, we will delve into Intel's internal situation, identifying strengths, weaknesses, and core issues guiding us to our end goal. To begin, imagine a world without Intel. No fast computers, no powerful processors, just slow, bulky machines. Hard to picture, right? Before Intel became the tech giant we know today, it started as a small idea by 2 visionaries. In 1960s, Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore formed NM Electronics, which was later renamed Intel. In the 70s, Intel established its slogan Intel Delivers and expanded its operations. In the 80s, Intel helped create the Ethernet networking and won its first major innovation award. Later in the 90s, Intel contributed to the Bluetooth technology, making wireless communication a reality. Growing furthermore, Intel launched its flagship Intel Core in 2006 and has been making a name in aerial vehicles technology in 2015. Today, Intel continues to shape the computing technology, partnering with other industry leaders. From a small idea to a global powerhouse, Intel has shaped the world of computing. But what keeps Intel from pushing forward? At its core, Intel's purpose is we create world-changing technology that improves the life of every person on the planet. It sounds inspiring, but the phrase world-changing technology is broad as Intel mainly focuses on semiconductors. While their innovations have improved lives, the idea that they impact every person on the planet is a big stretch. Intel also lacks a vision statement that makes their mission unclear compared to others. Beyond the mission, Intel stands for several values including integrity, inclusion, and caring for its people as one Intel. But do their actions match? For integrity, Intel was fined $376 million for unfair business practices like naked restrictions. Allegations also rose for pay discrimination against female, Black, and Hispanic employees, which says otherwise for inclusivity. And Intel has been annually laying off, with announced mass layoffs in 2025 contrasting their care for employees. And what about their guiding principles? They set the rules for how Intel operates, but many of them are generic, things most big companies claim to follow. More importantly, Intel has faced contradictions to these principles like market abuse allegations and ethical concerns. The company is set to carry out their goals with engineering pioneer Pat Gelsinger until he resigned on December 1, 2024. Intel's longest-serving board member Frank Yeary had positioned Intel product CEO Michelle Johnston Holtus and EVP and CFO David Zinsner as co-interim CEOs of the company. Very recently, Intel announced industry veteran Lip Bhutan as the new CEO effective on March 18, 2025, and he is also set to become a member of the board. This news has so far gotten positive reactions from Wall Street, with surging Intel shares after the announcement. With the current executives of Intel along with their new CEO, many are awaiting for new plans and strategies as they face challenges. Now let's delve into how Intel operates, creates value, and generates revenue using the BMC. Intel's target market includes OEMs like Dell and HP, high-performance computing businesses in sectors like the government, educational institutions, healthcare, and logistics. It delivers reliable, high-performance, cutting-edge technology and solutions with broad accessibility through its wide distribution network. Intel engages customers through email and phone support, developers engagements, trade and industry events, public relations, social media, and website FAQs. It reaches its customers through its website, authorized distributors worldwide, and through developer programs and platforms. Intel focuses on R&D, maintenance, distribution, building strategic partnerships, acquisitions, and marketing. Its success relies on R&D and security teams, wafer fabrication and assembly facilities, intellectual property protection, strategic partnerships, 3TG raw materials, and its foundry and manufacturing ecosystem. Intel partners with ASML and IMEC for semiconductor advancements, along with security researchers, authorized distributors, suppliers like ZEISS and Tokyo Electron, and software providers to drive innovation and strengthen its supply chain. Intel has three main revenue streams: the Intel products that includes Client Computing Group, Data Center and AI, and Network and Edge, Intel Foundry Services, and other products like Altera and Mobileye. Lastly, its major expenses include operating costs, R&D and marketing, administrative costs and restructuring, and other charges. Before we go into detail of Intel's internal analysis, this is an overview of their competitive environment. In the political scene, the new U.S. administration plans to impose additional import tariffs and has a positive view of AI but a pessimistic response to the CHIPS Act. Geopolitical tensions also continue to pose risks for global companies. In the economic side, there is a slow global GDP growth, continuing global disinflation, and a growing gaming GPU market. In the social-cultural aspect, there is a creator economy growth, increasing online communities, and a growing favorable attitude towards AI. In the technological side, current developments emphasize around AI. The new U.S. administration also plans to invest $1 billion in AI, and cybersecurity threats increasingly advance. In the legal aspect, the CHIPS Act continues to be in place while the executive order for safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence was rescinded on January 2025. In the environmental scene, there is a non-focus of ESG in the US and Gen AI, and chips development still poses large consumption of resources. This brief PESEL survey provides both opportunities and threats for Intel. On the other hand, Intel's rivals in the GPU market is market leader NVIDIA and fellow market follower AMD. More analysis to follow on these rivals in the next report. Continuing our internal assessment, let's further analyze Intel starting with its financial performance. Revenue and profits haven't been going well for Intel. All of their product lines show decreasing revenue trends. However, their main products also show decreasing trends in cost of sales and operating expenses. Notably, CCG has increasing trends in gross profit and operating income among all products. What is of concern is their foundry, as despite the deteriorating revenue, expenses are not minimized, contributing to larger losses. These losses from the foundry is likely contributing largely to the deteriorating overall profitability of Intel. An increasing expenses trend from the foundry are likely contributing to the overall increasing trend of COGS and operating expenses. As a result of Intel's deteriorating profitability, its cash flow performance has also been affected. Its cash flow to revenue has declined, indicating a weakening ability to convert revenue into cash. Its cash return on assets has declined, indicating asset utilization inefficiencies to generate cash flows. Its cash return on equity has declined, indicating cash inefficiencies for shareholders. Lastly, its cash to income is generally volatile and became negative in 2024. Hence, this deteriorating cash flow performance is of concern as it affects its ability to sustain operations. Its operating performance has also been deteriorating. Its inventory turnover has been declining, indicating inefficiencies in inventory management. Its asset turnover has declined over time, indicating asset utilization inefficiencies to generate revenue. Lastly, its days inventory on hand is generally increasing, indicating that it holds its inventory longer before converting it into sales. Consequently, Intel's market value together with its investment valuation ratios are volatile, indicating lower investor expectations. As for its liquidity, Intel can still meet its short-term obligations, but liquidity ratios and working capital have generally declined, leaving only a good defensive interval. Its Z-score also reveals possible future distress in liquidity. Despite their declining financial performance, Intel remains to have a stable debt-to-equity ratio below 50%, financial leverage at 1.80 or below, and interest coverage remains stable with unrealized gains. Their net gearing ratio is increasing, but overall, solvency is still good. Putting all of these financial analysis together, DuPont reveals that Intel needs to improve their profitability and asset efficiency to improve their return on equity, along with increasing investor confidence in the company.
After examining Intel's financial performance, it's equally important to understand the underlying processes that fuel its growth. Let's take a look at how Intel turns an idea into world-changing technology. Intel's supply chain is built on an extensive supplier network optimized with multi-echelon inventory systems and automated warehousing. Technologies like RFID and barcode scanning help track shipments and inventory in real time. Intel's operations revolve around manufacturing and testing of the silicon wafers using an internal factory network and strategic foundry capacity. The open system foundry and Moore's Law enable Intel to make advancements in their chips' performance. In addition, Intel used a cutting-edge 3D technology, copy-exactly method, and does strict quality monitoring to ensure it passes the standard. For outbound logistics, Intel relies on the 155 authorized distributors worldwide and the advanced 3D packing technology to ensure a safe and efficient product delivery. Intel's marketing and sales revolve around the utilization of direct digital and social media marketing, industry events, and consumer engagements. It also integrates an AI-powered sales tools, premium pricing strategies, and strong brand campaigns from Intel Inside to AI Everywhere and AI Inside. For Intel's after-sales service, it includes a 30-day warranty return and a dedicated customer support in its website and through distributors. Intel operates 10 manufacturing sites worldwide in Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, Ohio, Ireland, Israel, Germany, and Poland. Through smart capital investments, Intel is expanding its technological capabilities. Behind every Intel processor, there's a workforce of over 108,900 highly skilled employees. Intel offers competitive salaries, stock options, and innovation programs to keep its employees engaged. With initiatives like Innovation Days and the Safety Star program, Intel fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Intel's innovations are fueled by its IP portfolio, which includes patents, trade secrets, and trademarks. Today, Intel is leveraging AI, machine learning, and Internet of Things to push limits of computing. Lastly, Intel works with 8,200 first-tier suppliers and follows sustainable sourcing practices such as the Responsible Minerals Initiative or RMI requirements to its suppliers. It also integrated a supply chain renewable accelerator program called Catalyze Program.
Building on Intel's financial performance and value chain, let's analyze its strategies. Intel's generic strategy is differentiation with its broad market and product line emphasizing on product competitiveness. Before Intel's 2025 vision, their strategic moves also involve scaling its manufacturing, providing open platforms to drive industry collaboration and innovation, and investing in its people. These strategic approaches are guided by their RISE strategy for sustainable operations and their smart capital approach. With their recent 2025 vision keynote, Intel delivers that they will become engineering-focused and customer-centered. But how are these strategies working? For their product differentiation, Intel CPU are well differentiated in the market, but their GPUs are lagging behind rivals, with Intel almost having no market share. This also shows that heavy R&D investment is not getting desired returns. While they are making good progress with sustainability, Intel has delayed the manufacturing of 5 facilities and also lags behind production delivery. While they are good at strategically protecting their intellectual properties, Intel has lagged behind rivals in brand equity and presence. In addition, Intel excels in the diversity and inclusivity, but may face challenges on employee retention and maintaining morale after cost-cutting measure. Finally, having a balanced financial leverage reflects Intel's smart capital approach, but are yet to improve their returns on investment.
After analyzing Intel's current strategies, it is important to evaluate whether its resources and capabilities provide competitive advantage. Using the VRIO framework, we will determine whether they are valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and organized to capture value. Its manufacturing facilities and equipment enable them to optimize production and reduce costs. Its financial resources, which includes cash generated by operations and short-term investments, enable them to fund their strategic business requirements. Intel's IP rights allow them to protect their innovations. Its process technology allows them to facilitate the improvement of their performance, power efficiency, and cost. Lastly, its hierarchical structure allows efficient communication and decision-making. Thus, its tangible resources are valuable. Although these are valuable, they are not rare. Its rivals can easily obtain these resources. Intel's manufacturing system and IP rights can be imitated. However, acquiring this can be expensive. Hence, they are costly to imitate. On the other hand, its financial resources and organizational structure can be easily imitated and are not costly to imitate. While Intel's organizational structure allows them to operate efficiently, its financial performance has been deteriorating from 2020 to 2024, indicating that it was not able to fully capitalize the potential of valuable tangible resources. Hence, they are not organized to capture value. The most important intangible resources of Intel include human capital with over 100,000 employees and 20,000 are software engineers. Next is their intellectual capital composed of R&D investments. The brand has also been a household name for many years and it has established its reputation for its technical prowess and domination in the semiconductor industry. Important relationships in the company include suppliers and also their most lucrative clients. Lastly, the culture of constructive confrontation has been adopted way back when Andy Grove was the CEO of Intel. It allowed them to address problems based on data and facts. Today, they emphasize on a performance management system and incorporating the Wormland program that serves as a confidential employee hotline to resolve certain internal issues. While all these intangible resources are valuable, only their well-established brand image and reputation can be considered as rare. Overall, the resources are valuable but most of them are not rare. Thus, they have competitive parity in terms of the resources. Intel has two major capabilities: the manufacturing capabilities and contribution to the open ecosystem. Intel's manufacturing capabilities enable them to produce chips at scale, especially with their Intel Foundry business and in-house manufacturing facilities. This is considered valuable, rare, and very costly to imitate. Furthermore, the company's contributions to the open source software community is considered valuable and might be costly to imitate, but is certainly not rare. Overall, their capabilities are valuable, rare, and costly to imitate, but financial reports have shown that they currently are not able to optimize their capabilities. Thus, they have temporary advantage in terms of capabilities. The previous analysis tools used have provided us with insights in assessing the strengths and weaknesses of Intel Corporation. Intel has a wide product line and extensive distribution networks. This enabled them as well to have strong industry partnership with lucrative long-term clients such as Dell, Lenovo, and HP. In terms of finance, the company presents a balanced and stable financial leverage and good defensive interval. Adding to their strength is their robust workforce and sustainable procurement practices. This is coupled with their streamlined production through in-house manufacturing facilities and Intel Foundry. One factor that also made Intel stand out is their well-established branding and long branding reputation as a household brand. Weaknesses of the company include high operating costs and R&D expenses and limited direct customer channels or engagements. Since Intel highly depends on cutting-edge manufacturing, this contributes to an even bigger spending on factories and operations. We can also emphasize that the company had a slow adoption of AI and GPU markets amid heightened AI technology competition. Financially, the company is also faced with deteriorating liquidity, profitability, operating performance, and cash flow performance. As such, Intel has a volatile market value.
Once a tech giant, Intel now faces major challenges. Mass layoffs, leadership turmoil, financial struggles, and strategic missteps have left the company in a vulnerable position. With this, the Fairies Consulting Group presents several critiques of the company. In 2024, Intel announced laying off 15,000 employees to cut costs, but morale remains low. Even free coffee and tea could not fix concerns about job security and declining benefits. Intel has also lagged in innovation. They rejected Apple's iPhone processor deal in 2007, delayed its 7nm and 10nm chips, and fell behind AMD, NVIDIA, and Apple in advanced technology. Financially, Intel is struggling with $7 billion in foundry losses, a 57% stock drop, and expansion plans delays in Poland, Germany, and Malaysia. With this, investors were alarmed and has downgraded Intel's credit rating from BBB+ to BBB. With 3 CEOs in 6 years, leadership instability is a major concern. The sudden exit of Pat Gelsinger raises doubts about the Intel's long-term strategy. With a spin-off of its programmable solutions unit and massive delays in new manufacturing plants, suggests that Intel is struggling to keep up with the rapidly evolving industry with its inconsistent strategies. So, can Intel turn things around, or will it be left behind? This has been the Fairies Consulting Group's internal analysis of Intel Corporation. In our next report, we look forward to providing you the analysis of Intel Corporation's rivals, external environment, and industry. Stay tuned as we solve what truly matters.